You wish to consult me? Admirable ambition. But you must make room. Our enemies still draw breath.
No hope is gone, or so it seems, but game's not over yet. New cards are drawn, new hands are played, new colors the race above. A knave, a wizard, devil gift, the odds are cast anew. Baldurs fate now turns upon the winds of fortune's view.
Still breathing, despite everything. Can't give up now.
Noble stalk is why the... Go on then.
I hope you enjoy this curated selection. Take your time. Thank you.
Well, you're wrong. If you're bored and I'm wrong, where
Our enemies are everywhere.
No one back home will ever believe this.
because they're... Many things, I suppose. Blood, bile, phlegm, chocolate.
Welcome back, valued. Take your time. Thank you for... What to do?
Nothing but death, death, death. What the people want to your sheets is
Easier to don some armor than learn to swing a sword. If you can manage the extra weight, that is. City's got a...
Blackets will be done.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Ready and willing.
No time to rest.
Ah, excellent choice.
All right. What now?
Pristine darkness in every direction. Silence, but for the gentle, rhythmic slap of water on rock as your vessel cuts through. An overwhelming force pushes into your mind. The brain. It is here.
Can you smell it? The brine. It's infused with magic. The brain is here.
Waiting. Preparing. Calculating. Evolving.
My mind feels like it's being carved open.
Stronger than before. Much stronger.
We're close. We must be. That's curious.
All's well that ends. Oh, not as bad as it could have.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Working. Interrupted. Lost. Everything. Heard. Must. Find her. Stay lucky with us. Every bound. Transform brains. Everywhere. Swarming. List experts.
The spell's power.
Dominated. Controlled. Crowned.
like an ambush. Chase! Devour.
On my way.
Another fight. Let's go.
Listen here! Knowledge your face and shit it out!
Time to strike.
Ready for battle. A wise move.
Death can't have me. Not yet.
I am fury. I am death.
Unleash me.
These creatures renounce themselves. Corruption is in the air. It infects everything it touches.
We've saved me. I cannot take much more.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
eerie silence. The air is stale and putrid.
It's close. Have the stones ready.
Your blood slows. Your senses strung so tight they could snap in an instant.
You think you know why you are here. You think that by killing the Chosen and taking the Netherstones, you can destroy me. You are wrong.
It's messing with your mind. Don't listen to it. Use the stones.
By eliminating Ketheric, Orin, and Gortash, you have simply unbound me. Exactly as I intended. The crown is now mine to command. Mine alone.
Don't listen to it. Focus on the crown.
The crown is not my weakness. It is what made me what I am. I needed the crown to build an army. I needed the Chosen to bring it to me. They would not have surrendered it freely, so I gave them what they wanted. Power. Just enough that they would play their part in my design. Their part has ended. The next orders will be mine.
I won't allow it. Again, dominate it.
You had your role to play, too. Who do you think told the Chosen about the Astral Prism? Who do you think planted the knowledge of Orpheus's power and the fear of what it could do? When the Chosen sent my thralls to retrieve the prism, who do you think let the Emperor slip its leash, knowing it would be the one to bring you to me?
Were you a part of its plan?
I only needed one Netherstone loosened from the Chosen's grasp, to guarantee my freedom. You brought all three back to me. In doing so, you have liberated me. This was your role, and it is complete. Now you will witness the grand design.
We can't afford to let that happen.
This is not over. Pulled you out just in time. The situation is worse than I thought. This is an Elderbrain, no longer. The magic of the crown has caused it to evolve. It has become something more. A Netherbrain. I thought so too, but that was when I believed it was still an Elderbrain. It has been anticipating our every move from the start. underestimated it. We will need to rethink our plan. I have assessed our encounter with the Netherbrain from every angle. I know why we failed. The problem was not the stones. The problem was you. You can make only one move at a time, but the Netherbrain calculates every possible move at once. It knows what you will do. It knows everything you could possibly do. You cannot outmaneuver it. To defeat it, you would have to think like an Elithid. Better yet, be one. Your mind is not capable of this. Mine is. You will give the stones to me. I will assimilate Orpheus, and then I will be able to leave this prison to face the brain.
Assimilate him. Skvar! No! Now is the time to liberate him. Do not stand against me.
I will consume his thoughts, his knowledge, his brain.
So you would kill him. He is Gith's heir. You'd be the Githyanki people's betrayer. You'd be my betrayer.
I realize he is of some significance to you, but he is of even more value to our cause. Thank you. Now stand aside. I will assimilate the Githyanki's power in your stead.
Stop. You would keep my people chained to their damnable queen. I should have trusted my gut. Driven a blade through your throat at first chance. We have the means to free Prince Orpheus, and you side with Geich. Who are you? You want Orpheus dead. You'll have to kill me first. Lies! You have been seduced by empty promises, Geich tricks! To think I ever hoped for more from you. You have damned my people for eternity. Assimilate Orpheus, and I will rip off your every limb and bask in your agony. No more words. I gave you my trust, and you failed me. To think I once called you Shak Vernfindu. Hatala Krithmaha!
for a game of soldiers.
Yes? Lila Lurl.
Of course.
Take this!
The Githyanki's power will see us through. One last time. I admire the Githyanki, you know. What she lacked in foresight, she made up for with passion. But passion is a consolation prize for those who lack intellect. Now enough of this distraction. We must assimilate Orpheus. Do not judge me. Come, we must follow the brain's path. This time, we will not fail.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Not sure what I was expecting.
It's time
Whatever that was, it was worse.
We proceed together.
Try to avoid the worst of the mess. Or plow ahead and enjoy the fireworks.
In your name.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Is dark. Chris! You held the future of the people in your hands. How dare you take our prince from us? How dare you parade around this abomination? Silence. You've made your choice, and I've made mine. Tut!
may.
I shall trick thee.
Haste.
Torment!
What now? Don't waste a step.
Fresh orders? Understood.
Be pleased, Mistra. No choice but to keep going.
Your command. Time to bleed.
This'll be me. Thou art saucy as gruel.
The High Hall was once a beacon of promise, of wisdom, of celebration. Now, well, I'm cautiously optimistic. Though, with the time left, who knows what shape these final moments of ours might assume. Not I. Not Mistra, not even you. Or whatever my fate.
There is little time for words. We must join the battle. We are in the midst of a battle against a being that can kill worlds. I am faring it. I know that we can. If you have doubts, rid yourself of them.
Watch Citadel, home to the protectors
We
of
have lost
Baldurs.
much already, and we will lose more before the day is out. But even when the last soul falls, Baldur's Gate will stand. For Baldur's Gate is more than just a city. It is more than a place of opportunity for those of mercantile spirit. More than a place of refuge for those who are lost. More than a home for friends, loved ones, and adventuring souls. Baldur's Gate is a place where anyone can find what they need, if they're just willing to fight for it. Today, Baldur's Gate needs us. Today, we fight for... You're late, friend. This is the one you spoke of.
That is indeed the one who purged my home of a terrible evil. My father, Ketheric. There's no one I'd trust more to protect this city.
The Fist examines your illithid ally with suspicion. He was not expecting the savior of Baldur's Gate to be accompanied by a mind flayer.
Appearances may change, but they do not mask the one within. This one, I know. Observe with whom it traveleth. Friends. This mind flare will fight with thee. It will save thy city and thy lives.
The Fist eyes your illithid ally with suspicion, softening to curiosity. His hostility melting at the recognition that there's more behind those eyes than malice.
My steel is yours, and I'm not alone.
You helped me once. I figured it's time I paid you back. With magic.
You've unexpected friends. But my debt to you still stands. The Iron Hand Gnome's firepower is yours to command.
The Moon Maiden's silver light is a shield in dark times.
And I hold her sword.
Whatever strength I have to lend, I will lend it. I will make my city proud again.
You carried me once, friend. And now, I'll carry you.
You can count on me, little rabbit, and your squiddy friend. I thirst for the hunt.
I made some improvements to Ramesses' arcane artillery. Give the word and the sky falls on any who stand in your way.
I'm in the mood to crack some skulls after that fuckery in the Temple of Baal. The City Watch will be glad to oblige me.
Not sure what I have to offer a mind flare, if I'm honest. But I hope my words of encouragement and reassurance will...
The journey has been brutal, but I stand here a Hell Rider once more. And I would die a proud man if I died this day.
I want my city back. And I've brought the toughest bastards from the guild to get the job done.
All the strength of the lands we healed flows through me, and from me to you. And whatever company you keep.
Nature's servant awaits.
Glad to have you with us, and not a moment too soon.
The air is thick with anticipation. They're expecting a speech, something to stir their hearts and put fire in their bellies for the fight ahead.
To our freedom! We'll prepare ourselves. We'll be ready when you call upon us. Balduran's grace be with you.
You feel a tickle of mirth in the Emperor's thoughts. If they only knew the truth.
Come on. Speeches are done. All that's left is the doing.
Dost thou need my services? If thou art...
Never thought I'll...
Bodies, bloods, this is the dream. Knew I was smarts to sneaks in. The Skelly boy said I could stay if I sold your stuff. So hurry up. Buy, buy, buy! Don't go, Don!
Oh, don't look at me.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
On your command. Yes.
For thy faith.
I'm glad you're here.
Dragons. Overhead. Stay low.
Fall back! Fall back!
Matthew!
Leave him be! We have to keep running!
Mind Flayer! Mind Flayer!
It's over.
He's frightened of your illithid ally, but the very fact it hasn't killed him can the rumors be true? Is this really the Mind Flayer who could save the city? You see his mind racing through its options, finding only one. Against all his better...
Remarkable. Oh. We go... Shit! City Watch!
Never a dull moment.
They're torn!
Join us. Nothing will stand in my way. Swift as my feet can carry me. Nothing important is ever easy. need to find a way forward.
Become absolute.
strike.
This is worth the cost. You picked the wrong fight, friend.
I thirst for combat.
catch my breath.
My victims await.
Come on. Can't stay idle. No doubt there'll be others.
Fresh orders?
Directly.
Sol Invictus!
No one stopped me yet.
I hate to rest while our enemies still draw breath. At your command.
Never a dull moment. Let's move.
Let me burn my magic.
By my oath.
At least things have stayed interesting.
No rest for the wicked, I see.
I am listening.
Still alive. So that's progress.
At the ready.
You need my expertise. is for the best.
Let's get going. A long way from Waterdeep.
Thought occurs to you as you gaze at the monstrosity above. Gale's orb remains an option, one that could put an end to the Absolute once and for all.
You're plotting something, aren't you? Come on then, out with it. I'd rather know before we take on that cerebral monstrosity. Viable a plan as any while staring into the maw of perdition. Shall we?
There it is. The crown. The very thing that has been amplifying the Netherbrain's power. And the very place that we will be able to dominate it. That's where we should use the Nether Stones.
What in the hells are those?
There you are. The wizard who defied a goddess. The avenging exile. You are spectacular specimens. And you will make spectacular thralls.
Lend your strength!
I won't give in.
your command.
Time to press ahead.
Roll in my favor.
blood comes easy these days. Light on my feet.
Fancy their chances.
Taking up position.
our chance.
Even bound, its will is stronger than anything you've ever felt. The chains shake, threatening to break at any moment.
It's vulnerable, but not defeated. Use the portal. We will bring it down together.
Still breathing, despite everything.
To spare. A rift. Go inside its mind and destroy it from within.
Still on my feet. This is it. Its will is weakening.
Unleash me.
This is our chance. Farewell to the Netherbrain. tempest I will raise.
Let me strike.
Impossible. Pain! Fear! Terror! Reconsider. Assess. Implore. Surrender!
Subdued at last, it begs for its life.
Spare me. Join me. Wield me. Become absolute!
It pleads because it knows I am its master. I will finish this.
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of the Emperor's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps.
Master. I must obey. I must end.
Hopes, nightmares, and the screams of legions upon legions of unborn lithids. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought, all feeling. Your tadpole burns in your brain. Silence. For the first time in a long time, your thoughts are entirely your own. And then, gravity. Everything you did, everything you sacrificed, it was worth it. For this.
It is done. The Absolute eradicated. Vengeance exacted.
My powers, they're draining. Just like Mazora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things.
It's over. It's truly over.
And we are cleansed. The tadpoles are still at last. They cannot control us or turn us into abominations. Although in your case, the transformation may be an improvement, Iblis.
It makes little difference to me. I did what I had to secure my freedom. And in spite of your resistance to evolution, you have proved a good ally. I am no more responsible for your actions than you are for mine.
See how the dragons flee you, Boo? Now they know you stand as this plane's protector.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city. Smouldering, waiting to be rebuilt. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
The crown. It's somewhere in the Giontha. If I salvage the stones, I can reforge it. The power of Karsus would be in my hands. But what then? What would I do with it once I have it? Sage and timely counsel, as always. And I intend to heed it. A wise man learns from his mistakes, and strives not to repeat them. I shall bring the crown to Mystra. She'll cure me of my affliction. And I'll finally be free. And a more deserving one this time around. If this adventure has taught me anything, is that there are things in this world far more valuable than power. Besides, growing quite fond of this merry band of ours, and I'd quite like to see what happens to it. I'm sure Mystra will summon me soon enough, but until then, I propose we celebrate our victory the mortal way, with a drink in our hands and reckless abandon in our hearts.
Now you're talking. After all that, I think I'll need a drink in each hand and a third on the table. But I think right of choosing should fall to you. What'll it be?
Yes, Baldur's Gate will rise ever stronger. Let us be the ones to lay the first bricks.
I will not be joining you. I fear my presence will be no more welcome in the streets of the city than it ever was.
If Baldur's Gate is too foolish to recognize its saviors, so be it. The city will miss your influence, as will I.
I will miss you too.
Now that you no longer live in each other's minds, it's hard to tell if the Mind Flayer is being sincere though perhaps no harder than it ever was.
Whatever the next step, the path will still be there come morn. There is no harm in taking a moment to honor the fallen. Then, quite honestly, to sleep.
We did it, soldier. The city's going to be all right. And so are you. Engine's finally cooked. Held on just long enough. So, how'd I do? So are you. My friend. My companion. I adore you. Careful! Hot! I never gave up. I did my best. I did my best. It's the one thing I can't beat, isn't it? I wanted to live in my city with my friends. But life is for the living. And I saw... Goodbye, son. Goodbye, sea. Goodbye.
No, stop. I won't allow this. Karlach, you're coming with me. Back to Avernus. We can't let her die. Not like this. Not now.
You can't.
So, what do you say? Die here now, or live on with the blade of Avernus at your side. Zariel won't touch you. I swear it, Karlach.
Fine. I'll go. Well, with you. But we have to go. Now. I can't hang on much longer.
It's over. And it's all because of you. You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid empire, no death god's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
Well, soldier, here we are. It worked. My engines calmed down. I shouldn't have let you come here. This isn't going to be easy, you know. Zariel's going to come at us with everything she's got. Gods, like like clockwork. They'll be on us soon, but there's just enough time. Thought I was done with these. But then, there was you. Imps are fast, but careless. Don't let them tire you out. Just get rid of them. Don't forget. Better let these fuckers know I'm back. And this time, I'm not alone.
Six months have passed since you defeated the Netherbrain. And since then, you have seen more of life than you ever thought possible. You are greeted as a savior, a champion, a hero. But sometimes you feel like something else entirely. An adventurer, a traveler, a survivor. You faced down the gods. You thwarted the grand design. Anything seems possible. But before you can write the next chapter of your story, you must end this one.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight, fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon, wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
I cannot remember the last time I heard the Ballad of the Endless
Well
String.
now, you can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to. Oh, forgive me. I am simply excitable. It is good to be out under an open sky once more. My first, since the reconstruction began. We left quite a mess behind. But the city begins to look something like itself once more. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh. The upper city has been almost entirely rebuilt. That's where the gold is. Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets. No dust left to sneeze at. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing 8 ones. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again. There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. The songs of my suffering will break hearts from here to the Hordelands, I am sure. Now, before this night grows any deeper, I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think? Oh, that would be telling, wouldn't it? But believe you me, my friend, not a word could have been written without you. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat.
Ah, there you are.
There you are, my friend. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
You take in every scent the night breeze carries. Sweet honeysuckle, tender violets, and an earthy fragrance you can't quite recognize.
Forest trees draped in moss. Bittersweet, smoky, and that faintest hint of vanilla. A far cry from the rancid Avernus heat that's been clogging my lungs. I swear, Karlach and I have felled enough cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? One of them sported a map and some blueprints. If you want all the gory details, Karlach can fill you in. I think the splinters I made out of the last bone devil I saw speak for themselves. Not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I'm not such a bad ranger if I do say so myself. I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. Well, that's enough hell talk for them, or wasting any of the wine for that matter.
Aha! You see, Boo? I told you our friend was near.
Oh, right. You. Hello. Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dicarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right? That doesn't sound like him. But whichever way you want to remember it, well done, I suppose. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able, if you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities. We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months. Ta-ta, darling.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Dicarios of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance. Well, that was quite lovely. I'm glad you're as pleased to see me as I am you. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mystra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils. Still, I hoped my students might be a little more open to the playful side of such magic. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
From you, I'd expect nothing less. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. Well, I, for one, can't wait. And I say with some confidence, neither can they. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage...
Have your associates always been so ugly?
Tara! Never knew you to be cruel.
I said it to you, not them.
There you are. Keeping us all on tenterhooks so you could make a dramatic end. Starting to wonder if you'd show up. Hilarious. You could find work as a jester if you stumble upon a noble with more gold than taste. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever. You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it. Same. In fact, I found a nice meadow not far from where I live now. Every now and again, I'll spend the night there. For old time's sake. I'm glad you seem well. Trudy. Wandering, mostly. The adventuring life is almost a tonic when you're not constantly threatened by brain monsters and cultists. I can finally see the world beyond the cloister. One of my first stops was the House of the Moon in Waterdeep. It's the largest temple of Selûne in existence. It seemed like the perfect spot to reflect on my parents, on where they came from. And where I came from too, I suppose. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. God, your truest act of heroism was putting up with all that char and drivel I was spouting for so long. Oh, I know they are. I can still sense them, I think. And one day we'll be reunited. Well, I've had run-ins with my former fellow Sharans on a couple of occasions. Word seems to have spread of what happened at the cloister. Now other chapters of Shar worshippers see me as a prime target to offer up to their lady as a sacrifice. Don't worry. I know their tired old tricks better than anyone. They'll need more than a hooded cloak and poison blade to best me. Especially when I have a friend on the inside keeping me abreast of their predictable little plans. None other. The matter of her faith and allegiances remains. I have hopes that perhaps she might turn from Shah entirely given time. But that's a decision she will have to... I don't know. Which is just the way I like it just now. Perhaps I'll just stick a pin in a map and see what I find, or head to the docks in the morning and scrounge a berth to find... I'd like to see the islands, maybe, or head south to Arm. I heard there's an enclave of werecats that hunt the followers of dark gods by moonlight. But enough about me. What have you been up to? Don't be a stranger.
Terribly.
I've missed wine. Had to resort to making my own cider recently. You might be onto something there, though the name might need work. Come here. Never gets old. Don't be a...
There's something strange in your old friend's mouth. What a familiar invitation. He wants you to throw the object he's dropped. But it isn't a ball. It's the astral prism. Scratch barks merrily in something like agreement. He whines. Let's
Oh, boy! Is it lovely to sniff you again? You always know just how to do it. I certainly have, and I always will. Forever. Do you even have to ask?
Target for our enemies.
a familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something... Oh, I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you. I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to play with. I certainly have, and I all...
I fear I am becoming accustomed to the taste of some things.
Boo! We are not dreaming. It is our... Oh, and it is good to be seen. Oh, after so many days down in the dark, means you will forgive the aroma. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of... Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets. The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly. So Minsk and Boo went to give them a tickle. We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no? In ample time indeed. So long as the Bone Mage returns us to our cell but leave such matters for the morn. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky? Without tadpoles, Boo. He has developed something of a taste for tadpole, and is displeased. There is much merriment to be made before the night is done. Ah, this pond shall do nicely, Boo.
Perhaps the bard knows some of my favorites. Unless my taste in music is too...
Oh, shit. Soldier, I've missed you, man. Like, I've really missed you. Well, but having Will around has been incredible. Fucker's even better at killing devils than yours truly. We don't have much time to chat, but just knowing he's there makes... Oh, but hey, Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own... Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. Or maybe give me a brand new model that can live outside of Avernus. You haven't seen the last of old Karlak yet, soldier. Trying not to count my owlbears before they've hatched. But can I look you up when I'm out? Hey, that would be kind of fun, though. High stakes hide and seek. Gods, is it good to see you again. To be here, this won't be the last time.
So, here we are. A gathering of allies. Ah, we could have been conquerors. Do you ever regret that we did not take control of the Netherbrain? True. But what better revenge could there be? I shall not dwell on the past, though. The future is unwritten. I feared that returning to the Underdark, perhaps it was. If so, rebels swarm to my cause, and even if it takes centuries, I will reclaim my house. Oh, I would kill for a glass of Ulava wine. Gathering of heroes. A fine target for our enemies.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
The whole gang is here. Wish I'd had time to polish up the horns.
Deja vu.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
I fear I am becoming accustomed to the taste of sun-fed plants. Oh, I would kill for a glass of Ulava wine.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source
I
these?
would kill for a glass of Ulava
God,
wine.
I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Cool, fresh air. By the living gods, I needed it.
I would kill for a glass of Ulava wine.
Withers has laid out quite a spread of food.
smells so
for one
good
comprising
here.
mostly of bone. Perhaps he wishes to live vicariously through the attendees' appetites.
Ugh, I can eat a beholder. What's cooking?
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can. For I feel the... Well, I am not normally given to imbibing. But now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. In that case, our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes. And the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. It is, truly. Though a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times. You are welcome whenever you like. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake. I am all ears, though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You are truly incapable of disappointing. The children shall be... Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would... Quite often. They come and go. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned. I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oak Father's creations. But they must learn that... As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be. As did I, but... Amazing what can be discovered about on occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. For even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence. Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keeps. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the season. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's... Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your...
I expect there have been other reunions to which I was not invited.
I can't believe it's quite...
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some You have no... You've no idea who I am. I owe him a favor. I thought honoring the worthy was a fair price to pay for Withers to pull me out of the fugue plane. Alas, one purgatory to another. Languishing in obscurity. Before I was banished to the fugue plane, I had song prayers coming out the proverbial ears.
You feel a pang of divine guilt. Musical prayers went out of fashion among bards when Melil, Lord of Song, offended.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid. You. Deep down, I knew you'd recognize me. You're a fellow bard, after all. Your wish is my... etc. What song do you want? Fantastic idea.
This one night is like thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel? If thou could only see the paths of fate untaken, enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deserve it. What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you. There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.